We're live recording this right now. It is Monday, October 6th. Chase, KJ Perry, number one JUCO commits to BYU. Thoughts?
It's a great grab. I love this college basketball recruiting stuff because it comes all year round, and it's when you're not expecting it, and you're all of a sudden like, oh, wow, great
Yeah,
get from BYU there. I think it's huge, Carter. I think it shows a lot about this staff, what they're doing year round, the work that they put in to grab these guys at any time that they need to, right? And I think it just shows how diverse the recruiting's become. We put out a graphic about number one Euro guy last year, number one high school, and now number one JUCO. I mean, they can recruit top to bottom, and it's become the trademark of this Kevin Young program in the early just second year. So another great get from BYU.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the 5-star JUCO. I mean, obviously, none of us have watched him play live or anything. You go back and you watch the film of this guy, and it's very promising. We'll dive deeper into that stuff here in a little bit, but I think what you said is very interesting. Is number one JUCO, number one Euro, number one high school. Brendan Dunson tweeted that out. We put out the graphic, obviously. We say this like 1,000 times when we do these podcasts, Chase, but just growing up, you watch BYU sports and you see the recruiting classes they get, and then you just see what they are now, and the night and day difference is just wild in a matter of 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've said this a lot, but getting someone like KJ Perry 4 years ago would have been one of the biggest recruiting gets of all time, for someone like BYU and that at that time. And it's still super big, and I don't want to underplay it at all, but it's becoming just the norm. And you can't say enough how insane the change has been over 2 years, where they're at as a program now. And this stuff becoming no longer surprising is a great sign of a great program, because you need to be used to just being like, we're in the mix for a lot of these guys. Number one guys, number two guys, 5-star recruits are becoming, you see BYU in the graphics again and again and again. You're not going to land all of them, but all of a sudden being like, okay, we got this guy's a big get. And not even being like, Carter, this is huge. It's his team now. It being like, this is a good piece to fit into KY's team and his program, right? Just speaks volumes to the work that he's done. And we say KY a lot. You got to give credit to the entire recruiting staff. These guys who are
Yep.
on the road, who are putting in tons of work in the film room, scouting these guys. Obviously, you mentioned Brandon Dunson, our guy, Justin Young, putting in so much work. And so when we say KY, we really mean all those guys, because it's a big grind in college basketball. Like we said, it's a year-round process. Really is no breaks, in season, out of season, overseas guys, all this stuff that you have to travel and go on the road for, and put in the work to build a relationship with these guys, convince them to come to the school. And BYU is doing it better than just about anyone else right now.
Yeah, and the other thing that's going to eventually come out of this, once BYU starts putting guys more consistently in the NBA year after year, and the name recognition continues to rise up, and they start having success in the NCAA tournament and in the Big 12 more and more, then the other thing is, the assumption right now is BYU is just massively overbidding for every single recruit there is, because why on earth would you ever go to Provo, Utah, and why on earth would you ever go play at BYU? It's a bit of a false narrative once you find out, okay, it's actually the bidding's competitive. Like, everyone's bidding around the same stuff. It's, what are you offering outside of that? And BYU's offering a lot more. I think that narrative will come in the next year or two, as long as these things continue in the same trend they're going for. And the other thing is, with KJ Perry coming in, it is a very, very big deal. I think that he's coming in January, have a lot of time to acclimate to this team. And he's obviously redshirting, so he's not going to be playing this year. He'll join the team in January, redshirt, and he's going to have 9-10 months to develop and get used to being in Provo and around this team and around this coaching staff. I think that is going to be a huge bonus for next season.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Huge that he gets to redshirt and stick around. It's a big jump, Carter, going from JUCO to Big 12. I don't want to discredit JUCO at all. There's legit talent. A lot of amazing guys are going to come out of that, right? It's becoming a very popular path where some of the best players in college basketball are coming from there. Still super competitive, but there's also levels to it, right? And so being able to be in the program, in the building, build a relationship with the dudes there, coaching staff, players, obviously those who are going to stick around, and to get acclimated to Big 12 play, I think is huge for someone like KJ Perry. I also think it's big for BYU to start up we're super excited for this season, but it's also on to the next recruiting class for these
Yep.
guys. Like this team's set. The recruitment did its job. They did it very well for this season.
Mm.
And these guys are like, all right, gotta get on the road and see what's next to build. And so, obviously you're going to be losing a lot of some of your best guys this upcoming season afterwards. And so it's all about looking forward. And this is a great first step for
Yeah,
BYU and being able to do it early like this and get the recruits and your next team in the building this early, I think is massive.
I also think this is a very interesting point too, because I don't think this is a BYU thing. I think this is a lot of college basketball. I don't think the 2026 class is necessarily this elite top class like we're seeing with AJ this year, Cooper Flag and company last year. I think there's a little skepticism about the top guys in the 2026 class. I think that's why you're seeing BYU being linked to guys more in the teens rather than because BYU, we've obviously seen it. BYU can go after and be competitive with 1, 2, and 3, the top recruits in the country. There's being very selective, and I think there's a reason for that because I don't think this 2026 class is necessarily one of the better ones, to be honest. And that's why you're seeing BYU go maybe the JUCO route with some of these guys. Obviously, BYU will add in the portal once the portal opens up after this season and see who comes and who goes and everything like that. And on top of that, you go look at next season when KJ Perry will play. I think the ideal lineup that they're looking for is point guard Rob Wright, assuming he stays another year, because I think he's going to be playing college basketball 3 to 4 years before he makes that jump to the NBA. Then you have KJ Perry at the 2, Moo Davis, who's a junior right now. He'll be here next year as long as everything goes well at the 3. And then you have the 4s probably Dominic Diamande. It could be, Boop. It could be whoever. And then Xavier Staten at the 5. And then you're going to see some consistency within the program. It's not one and done, this, that, guys coming in and out all the time. You're actually building this foundation right now of guys that are here year after year, kind of going back to what we've seen in college basketball before one and done and the NIL stuff. It's kind of correcting itself again.
Right. And you still, you got to leave it still super wide open because you never know who could be coming in the portal and whatever. But that the point you're trying to make is a very good one because a guy like KJ Perry, now you get to kind of back up or play alongside Rob Wright and then eventually take over for him if they want to play him as a point guard. We'll get into KJ Perry's game and where we see him on this BYU team. But at least for next year, right, that's the route you're taking and being able to bring these guys in, develop them, and build some of that continuity is huge. And we're already seeing it this year. Obviously, you bring in a couple of guys brand spanking new. But having like a guy like Richie Saunders, Keba Keita to be there to anchor that starting 5 is massive in college basketball these days because there was a very quick okay, everyone's going to be brand new in college basketball, transport, NIL, it's changing everything. And then we saw that not really work out for a lot of these teams and the teams that have been going on deep runs in March, winning national titles were kind of guys that had a good mix of both. And so the blueprint is becoming having a few guys to hold down and anchor, develop, stay a couple years at least, and bringing in top tier talent in the transfer portal or overseas, wherever, and being able to complement that. So BYU's got the recipe and they just got to keep executing, and they are.
I love it. Let's get into his game a little bit. We watched the film. We've gotten into it. Thoughts?
Yeah, first thoughts. JUCO film is not easy to find, Carter. Thankfully, he was obviously.
I found a couple full games.
Thankfully he was pretty highly touted, and so I think people have done the work for us and helped us out there.
We also do need a Synergy subscription. If you're a coach listening to this, send us the Synergy login. We won't share it anywhere else. Give us the Synergy login because I think I was about to get a virus looking up some film on, especially the Euro guys. Whenever I'm trying to look up film on them, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude! Like I'm getting some. My computer's getting attacked.
It's a very specific type of identity theft. If you lose it, look it up. Look it up.
Looking up tape. 7. Yeah. Anyhow, watch the tape. Thoughts?
I loved it for what it was. I think again, JUCO's a different beast. but he was the number one guy for a reason. Carter, he's super shifty. He's long. He plays bigger than he actually is. I noticed right off the bat, he's a true 3-level scorer. And, we say that about a lot of guys, but look at the splits of the shots he takes. He loves to be inside. He loves mid range, and he can shoot the ball from three. He probably shoots threes less than he shoots his mid range jumpers. That's just where he loves his game. And so, big slasher, getting to the rim. He's not afraid to post someone up to back him down. He's got decent post moves when he gets in that position, and he loves to push the ball in transition. He's a score first guy. He's a scorer probably first, second, and third. Uh, that is his game, and I think it was appropriate for him to do because playing at Citrus and JUCO, he was the guy, right? He was their number one. He was their offense. That was it. It revolved around KJ Perry, and he did it very well. Being able to get to the rim, finish, and really elite stuff at the mid range. Carter, like I was super
Yes.
impressed. Some of the post moves, some of the things he was doing around that 10 to 15 foot range.
Yeah, I do think that's a big point of how is this going to look come Big 12 play? Is he going to be averaging 20 points a game and all this stuff? We've seen the guys make the jump from JUCO. We've seen guys be successful making that jump and everything. But I agree with the mid-range stuff and everything. I think the bigger point too is what I saw as well is I don't necessarily see him as a point guard coming into college basketball in the Big 12. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I think he's a great complement to what you want with Rob Wright, who is a bona fide college basketball point guard, like through and through. And I think that's what you need and what you want, especially if you're assuming next season your backcourt's going to be Rob Wright and KJ Perry. Not a bad option to have. And I talk about this constantly. We talk about teams that make big runs and national title level teams. Think about the titles winning teams over the last 10, 15 years and the two guards in the point guard and shooting guard spots, these combo guards that can both handle the ball enough. The two guard doesn't have to handle a ton, but can also score. It's critical. Look at Florida last season. Walter Clayton, great point guard, can score the ball when needed to, but can also facilitate it very well. Elijah Martin next to him. You can even say Will Richard too, but Elijah Martin next to him. You keep going back. I think this is a lot like this is going to be a deep cut for people that aren't diehard college basketball fans or anything, but North Carolina in the 2016-2017 range when it was Marcus Page running the show. We all remember the Villanova shot at Chris Jenkins. Marcus Page's last game was that year. Marcus Page was the point guard. The two guard was Joel Berry. Joel Berry was fantastic alongside him. You have to have those two guards right there to make deep runs in March. And then the following year, Joel Berry took over as the point guard, which I don't think he was necessarily a natural point guard at that position, went on to win a national championship for the Tar Heels. So I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but I think that's the similar path of what we'll see for KJ Perry at BYU.
Yeah, absolutely. Make no mistake about it. I think KJ Perry can score in the Big 12. I think he's an elite bucket getter. I I wanted to see in the film a bit more of that facilitating type, right? Finding other guys and getting them open. With that said, like I said before, he was the offense. Like his job was to put up the points for Citrus. So it's I don't think it's very fair to me to be like, I think he should be passing more when he was clearly the best guy on the court at pretty much every single game he
Are you
played
sure
it.
about that? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So he's going to need to take a step as a facilitator. I think he probably already has a lot of that in him. He just didn't get to show it in JUCO, right?
Yeah.
And that leads to another point. And this is what we talked about a bit with this upcoming season and this team. You know, when you come from a place where you are the guy, like he was that dude at Citrus in all of JUCO, obviously the number one recruit. He was the best player. Now he's going to be a player. And I don't mean that detrimentally. He's just going to be a part of a team with much more talent around him. And he needs to, I don't think it's going to be a problem, by the way, but he needs to gel and mesh into someone who complements other players. He took a huge share of Citrus's shots, and he was very good at it. And again, they needed him to do that. Now he's going to need to play a part of a role. And what we've heard from people that we've talked to in BYU's program is that he's a buy-in guy. He understands the bigger picture. So I have no worries about him doing that. I just, as far as his game goes, right, it's going to be a lot more buying in and being able to be part of a team that will ask you to move the ball around, also go get buckets when needed, which I think he's going to absolutely kill it at.
That's one thing I don't worry about BYU anymore is getting these guys in where it's like, okay, did they over recruit? Like, does this guy understand his role coming in? All these guys understand exactly what their role is going to be and what should be expected out of them and what they're signing up for. All of them. That's now what we see. We've talked to 1,000 guys. We've had them on the podcast and everything. They know the drill going into BYU. So like when we talk about that kind of stuff, like, okay, are they a buying guy? It's like, well, I don't think at this point where BYU is and how they recruit, I don't think they're gonna. If a guy's not a buying guy, I think that's just automatic. All right, we'll move on. We'll go get someone else.
And that's the difference when you spend your money in college sports in general. It's about spending it on the right guys. You know, what did
Yes.
Saban say on game day? Right? If you pay the wrong dudes, you're out of luck. Right? And so
Did
if
he
you,
has he paid guys?
I mean, he did like 5 years ago. I think that's
Wait, he paid guys before NIL?
no,
Stop.
surely
Yeah, I
not.
was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, what would he know about paying dudes?
I would I would love to know the like Alabama's budget before like under the table and all that stuff. Like there's gonna be a great documentary that comes out about that in like 5-10 years.
Yeah, there was just like an unlisted employee that like no one knew his name, but he managed all that stuff, and his job was to keep it under the table. Now that it's out in the open, though, BYU's got a big leg up, especially in the college basketball world, and that's the point that they emphasize. And when they recruit dudes, we know for a fact they tell them, "Hey, look, this is how it's going to be. We need you to play this role." Guys like Nate Pickens coming in, being like, "Look, you're going to be a backup. Then that's what we need for this team. Are you in?" And he was right, and he's going to play that role this season, and I have no doubt he's going to be awesome at it. Those are the type of dudes you want on your team, especially on a basketball team, Carter, where chemistry, where being able to mesh, right, being able to fill in different roles is so dang huge. And in college basketball, right, where you see guys need to step up all the time. Who knows injuries, of course, knock on wood, whatever. It's those type of guys that you need. So from all that we've heard, KJ Perry is that type of dude, and that's why they went and got him. One of the
I
reasons, one of many reasons.
100% agree. I 100% agree. Other thing I noticed on the film, I do like his defense. He's got a nice quick twitch, like very great, very solid first step in his game, can slash to the basket. I didn't get as much of the 3-point shots as I'd like to see on the film though. I like, and it was more so probably the film I got to see and everything, but I wanted to see more from beyond the arc, and I don't know how much he'll be shooting off the dribble. He seems like a great catch and shoot guy from what I saw as well, which will be a lot of what he gets if you're playing on this BYU team. You will be shooting a lot of catch and shoot threes and a lot of open ones at that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes back to the point. When you are the entire offense, you're not getting a lot of open looks from three, right?
Yeah.
But if you are playing with BYU and you have a lot of talent around you, that's when you get open looks. So I would definitely think his 3-point volume goes up a whole lot playing at BYU than it was in junior college, where he was the primary ball handler, right? And his job was to work off screens, get to the basket. So, but it's there. I mean, he can knock them down when he gets them.
And I'm curious to see going from JUCO where it's basically just you putting the work in on your body. Now you're going into BYU where these guys have all talked about it in various interviews about how important the strength and conditioning is at BYU and the nutritionist they all have there and everything. Being able to develop your body over the next 9 months like that before going into next season is also just super, super massive. And just being a part of practice every day and a part of this team, because I really believe that a lot of these guys that are on this team this year that have eligibility will be on next year's team as well.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree.
Anyhow, all right. Well, anything else on the KJ Perry front?
Yeah, I want to read our guy Justin Young, who prior to Kevin getting the job and him coming over to BYU to recruiting, did kind of his own stuff on the side called Hoop Scene, where he did a lot of scouting and was incredible at it. He wrote this in 2022 about KJ Perry, and I figured if you're listening to this and you're like, what do you guys know? You're just two dudes on a podcast. You're probably right. So here's someone who really knows ball and also was part of recruiting this kid. I'll just read it real quick, Carter. He said KJ Perry, and this was at a Gilbert McClintock playoff game. All right, so deep cut here. But he says KJ Perry was the most complete player on the floor, nearly flawless in the first half, missed just one shot, had only one turnover in 16 minutes of action. the Tigers leaned on Perry to carry them to a 42-25 halftime lead. Perry finished 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and a pair of steals. In this contest, Perry was the MVP of the action. That's what he was doing in high school, and our guy JY saw it from the start. So shout out him. It's crazy worlds collide. Now he's going to be able to play for BYU. But I thought that was a fun little deep cut of the seeds being planted early with our guy Justin Young watching this kid play.
Yeah, shout out. I had that screenshot ready to roll. But I didn't. I forgot to bring it up on the show. Yeah, I love it. Anything else with BYU news related? It's kind of slow right now. Before we've got the Nebraska game coming up next week. If you're a BYU fan and you're like, where is this game going to be played? It's on Big Ten Plus. You got to pay $13. Hey, I know BYU fans, penny pinchers out here. I get the game. I'm right there with you. $13 to watch a preseason game. That kind of stinks. So make sure to cancel that subscription right after the game.
Yeah, maybe we get like a group together and we all just share the login and we all just split. We all just split 50 cents.
We should be able to expense that to the Field of 68.
Oh yeah, they'll totally.
Yeah. But anyhow, yeah, that'll be next week. We'll be live right after the game. So game's at 1 p.m. Eastern time, the only real time now for me. And so we'll be live a little after
time.
It's awful. BYU West Virginia's wrecked my entire week. 1 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll be live right after the game. So that'll be on. We'll be live on YouTube this season too, Chase, by the way. That has been confirmed. Yeah. We'll be live on the Field of 68 Podcast Network YouTube channel, and we'll be live on Twitter. So tune into that, subscribe to that and everything. Any other BYU news?
No BYU basketball news, super slow. I do have like a 20-minute spot on the Patriots if we have time. I don't know if that
means I get 30 minutes on the Panthers.
You don't need 30 minutes on the Panthers, brother.
Yeah, we do. I need a therapy. No. All right,
listeners will have to head over to Cardicast to hear the NFL talk.
If you want to hear the Panthers stuff,
shout out the cast.
Shout out the cast. Shout out the Panthers. I don't think that's it. Also, Yegor Demon making NBA debuts here soon. Very curious to see that. Opening night against the Charlotte Hornets. I'm going to try and be there, Chase. I'm going to be boots on the ground for that one for us.
Gotta be. I mean,
yeah.
Hornets big season incoming? Maybe?
Big season incoming. Don't worry. But this isn't a Hornets podcast. We're talking Yegor Dem. We're talking BYU.
Yeah. I mean, you can switch if you want, Carter. You know,
absolutely never. We die with the ship. We go down. Just changing loyalties left and right.
No,
if you were in the Revolutionary War, you would have been an American. You'd be like, I'm siding with the British. I'm going with the British. You have no loyalty. You have no loyalty.
That is completely false. I said you can switch one time, then you have to be loyal. I've been loyal to my teams for my entire life.
But you get a switch. You don't get a switch. If you're American, you're American. No. If you're a Panther fan, you're a Panther fan. You die. You die with the team.
I'm just trying to help you out.
No, that's...
Sorry.
Besides the point, we got a long season ahead, Chase. I mean, we this is October. We're already getting into this stuff. All right, well, that's it from us. Shorter pod than today. We'll be back. We got season predictions coming next week. We're going to do a deep dive into the schedule, and we're going to get our official record predictions, season predictions, all that good stuff. Make sure to tune in, subscribe, Field of 68 Podcast Network, Church Ball Pod on all social medias. We're even on, Chase, the Facebook launched last week. I figured out how to work Facebook.
Oh, yeah. On Facebook.
Check us out on Facebook, Church Ball BYU Hoops Pod on Facebook. Facebook, it's hilarious because all the older people use Facebook. I don't know how to use it. I feel like an idiot on there. I'm like, how do I post on here? This is absurd. This is archaic.
I mean, it's pretty simple, Carter. You kind of just write the post and hit post. I mean, I don't know if it's that difficult.
But it's more so like, okay, how does this algorithm work compared to like the other algorithms and what?
I'll just give you a hard time.
But anyhow,
hey, if the 80-years can do it, we can do it. Right?
We can do it. We can do it. We can spit our hot takes on Facebook as well. So anyhow, make sure to follow on all social media at Chase_Roger0 at CarterB8. And we'll be back next week's season predictions. Tune in. We'll see you all next time. Adios.